Hey, what's happening, everybody? Jay Shockblast here, and look at what I have. That's right, Masterpiece Soundwave. I'm pretty stoked about it. Found this at Toys R Us. This is the Toys R Us version. So as you'll see, he has the yellow eyes, not the red, that are on the Takara version. I'm okay with it. I happen to just randomly be walking through one of my local Toys R Us's. Did not even expect to see this, and I was obviously pretty excited that I did. So we're gonna go ahead and take a look at it. I did this video kind of in a weird kind of sequence. The second part of the video where he's kind of in the packaging inside, I actually recorded a couple days ago. This is the first chance I've had to get back to it. So this obviously talks a lot about Soundwave. You know, behind the impassive expression, Soundwave is cold and ruthless as they come. Blabbity blabbity blah. Talks about his strength and his intelligence. He's obviously slow, endurance, rank, courage, fire blast, and skill. Learn more at Transformers.com. Here is the back. And he includes, so this is what I think I've heard is a little bit different from the Takara version. He has 5 cassettes, as you'll see here. He's got Laserbeak. He's got Buzzsaw, basically the same cassette. He's got Rumble, Frenzy, and of course Ravage. There he is in cassette mode. There's an Energon cube included. And there he is all transformed. Pretty dope. 30th anniversary or something. 2014. Sweet. And here there's the other side. 9 of 30. Collect all of them, each sold separately. So I'm not sure what the other 30 are. I'm assuming they were talking about all the other Masterpiece pieces. I have the Masterpiece Rodimus. I have the Masterpiece Thundercracker and Skywarp. I had Starscream but gave them to my brother. So I'm a big fan. I also have the Masterpiece Grimlock. So there we go. That's a look at the packaging. And when we come back, we're going to see what he looks like inside the clamshell that's inside the box. My dog is shedding like a mofo, and I really don't know what to do about that. So anyway, had to wipe it off. So anyway, we'll come back. You'll see the video I recorded a couple days ago showing him inside the packaging, and then we'll see him outside of the packaging. What's happening, everybody? I don't know where in the process of this review I am. I might have put everything back in the box and kind of sealed it back up, or I might have shown you a full box and then kind of faded to this. But in any event, I started opening it up just to kind of get a look at it to see what I had on my hands as far as doing an unboxing, because when you're alone and doing it with one hand on the camera, it can be very complicated and difficult. So in any event, once you open the box, this is what you're looking at. You're looking at Soundwave, and he has here right there a little accessory Megatron. You can see, you know, Rumble and blah blah blah. Can't think of who's the other one. Rumble and Frenzy. They're little Rumbler arms. Comes with 5 cassettes. So, you know, you can see we've got Rumble, Laserbeak, Frenzy, Ravage, and who's the other one? I'm going to cheat here and you can't see it. Buzzsaw. Yeah, I remember Buzzsaw. So there's an empty Energon cube that you can fill. And then there's the main event right here. Soundwave, all transformed and ready to go. I'm definitely going to leave him that way when I have him on display. I'll probably transform him at some point during this review. But in any event, this is how he comes out of the box. And here's another view of the box. I'm sure I've shown it to you already, but in any event, just in case, because I don't know exactly which order I'm going in. This is going to be one of the weirder unboxings I've ever done. I'm filming everything out of order. So in any event, there we go. Masterpiece Soundwave. In the process of taking him out of the package, and when we come back, he will likely be out of the package, and I'll be going over what we got. Peace. Alright, here we go. We're back, and I just realized I left my fan running when I was doing the box part, which is, you know, par for the course, but whatever. So I've got Soundwave out, I've got Frenzy out, I've got Laserbeak out, and I've got Ravage out. I decided to leave two of them in the cassette just so you could see what they're like in the cassette. Obviously, here's Ravage, looking pretty awesome. Transforms from a cassette tape. Pretty much like the original. I used to have the original Soundwave back in the day. So, very much like the original. I don't know if I'm in focus here. Get a little closer. Yeah, there he is. So he's looking pretty cool. Put him off to the side. Of course, we have trusty old Laserbeak. Bring him into focus. Looking awesome. Buzzsaw is basically the same one. So I really didn't think it would be that big of a deal to show Buzzsaw. He's the yellow one in the back. These are what the cassette tapes look like in their little cases. There's the empty Energon cube behind them. Then of course we have Frenzy, or maybe it's Rumble, I'm not sure. So it's really cool, you know, these arms come off. He's probably going to fall when I take it off, yeah. So these come off, and if you remember from the G.I. Joe movie, making a mess here. If you remember from the G.I. Joe movie, or many other times, they would break out these rumblers and make the ground shake, stuff like that. So that's basically what those are. That's a pretty cool addition. Both of them have their own, as you can see there. So, but enough about the little guys, the cassettes. Let's talk about the main event up here. That is Soundwave himself. Soundwave Superior. So there he is. I've got the cassette door open just to show that if we... It's always so hard to do this with one hand. We take Buzzsaw out here. You can go ahead and put him right there in his chest, which is pretty cool. And there's an eject mechanism. I know cassettes are a lost art for many of you youngins out there. We'll never know the joys of rewinding a cassette. He's got an accessory Megatron gun. Doesn't really stand up very well on his own. You have to really kind of put him in position. Legs are not necessarily, I guess, the best, you know, stance. It's not bad. Certainly could be better. Really happy with it otherwise. I mean, it's one of the best masterpieces there is. I got it for 120 bucks at Toys R Us, and I didn't even think twice about it. It's pretty awesome. He looks cool. He's definitely one of the best Decepticons ever. I don't really think that is much of a debate. Pretty much a fan favorite by all. So you see he kind of leans back. I'm sure there's a way to adjust it, but his feet, you know, I wish they were kind of a little bit more of an angle. But he doesn't really lean forward much. I, of course, don't want to put too much pressure on him because I don't want to break him, but I'll lean him up against a back cabinet. I'm going to transform him off camera because nobody wants to see me try to hold a camera in one hand while I transform it in the other, and it would be just as awkward if I used my tripod. So let's take one final look at Soundwave. Out of the package. And the fourth part of the video will be him in cassette mode. We'll catch you in a few. Peace. Okay, so I've been fooling around with this thing for way longer than I thought I would have to, and I'm going to go ahead and put this down here. Hope I can keep it in focus. This is what's frustrating about these transformers sometimes. They don't make sense. So as you can see here, this piece is supposed to go down under here. This is why I don't transform them on camera, because there's really no great way to do this, and I'm so afraid of breaking it. I know I have it right, it just won't go into place. So I've kind of given up. I'm never going to keep it in cassette form. I mean, I can see what it's supposed to do in the picture, and it's just not doing it. And I'm a little confused as to why. I know I've done everything right, so I just don't care enough. So here's the downside to this thing. I'm sure that there are people that will tell me that I just did it wrong, that I'm stupid and blah blah blah. I'm not really stupid. I mean, I'm following the instructions, which there are no instructions. There never are, just pictures, and it tells you to do things, and I'm following the instructions, and you can't really do them as stated. You're supposed to be able to push this down, and it can't go down. There's nothing that goes down, so I can't really fully transform him. It's a little disappointing. I wish they would have made a little bit more sense, but what am I supposed to do? Yeah, so there you go. An underthought Soundwave transformed into a cassette player, supposedly. That is what the end result is supposed to be, right there. I almost feel like that's a best case scenario, because I'm attempting to do that right now, and yeah, it doesn't want to. So if I turn it, I'll take the cassette out. I don't want to break it, and it doesn't turn up anymore. See, I'm blocking the whole thing with my hand. It's frustrating because, like, I'm trying to do this on camera and I obviously can't because it's so it's angled the right way. That's the way it says to do it. Fold it flat. I'll show you in the stupid instructions. Got my cam back on, of course, because why wouldn't I? So number 13, you can see I have it folded flat with these little insert pieces, the pieces that pivot. You can kind of see in 14, those are supposed to face outward. And then in 15, it shows you tuck the foot up. And start pulling them up. So 16 shows exactly what I'm doing, how I have them up like that, and then it says to push them down, but they don't push down. It says there's a little button there. Ah, ha ha ha. Got it. Well, that was confusing as hell. So there was a little button that pushes it up. Alright, let's try this. Sort of. Right here. Yeah. I know my hand's kind of blocking it, but we're almost done here. So, after all that bitching, there we go. Tight fit. A little bit of plastic damage there because it's way more complicated than it needed to be. So, Soundwave in cassette form. I knew I'd do it eventually. I must have missed that button. I pressed it a bunch of times, but it wasn't doing anything. Again, I was really afraid to force it in. So, if you have that same challenge like I did, that's what it was. He condenses really well. Really a throwback to the old style. And that's that. Alright, so I'm glad that you could share a little bit of my frustration with me. It was not super easy. Could have been easier. I'm sure a 3-year-old probably would have done it in half the time. Maybe a third of the time. But, whatever. Maybe I'm slow. So there we go. There's Soundwave. I'm going to go ahead and transform him back to his robot mode because that's the way I like him. And I'll put him on display. 120 bucks at Toys R Us. Good luck finding him. He's selling out everywhere. I was shocked I even found him. And if you're a Transformers fan, I'm sure you'll be all over it. Hope this was informative for you. Hope you enjoyed it. And we'll catch you later. Peace.